Hi there, it's College Advisor Maya back with another video. Today we're going to talk about resumes and putting those together and how you do that and the different ways that you can do it. Resumes. What is a resume for? Mostly for jobs, but as high school students and going into being college students here in the near future, internships, part-time jobs, and then obviously once you get to the end of college for your full-time job or career after graduation. So it's really just a paper way to show, or not a paper way, but like a way to show all your like different work experiences, community service experiences, achievements, honors, awards, skills, all those things on paper. That is what a resume is, and mostly people use it for jobs and internships. Um, I can't think of too many other, maybe scholarships, of course. Not most scholarships will have you do like an essay, or like in the application it'll ask you about what type of community service you do and how many hours. I don't see very many that ask students to upload resumes, but if they do, you want to make sure you have one that's ready to go, ready to upload, and it's here and it's available. So sharing my screen, of course. So we're just going to go through a couple different ways to make a resume. So we're going to start with just Microsoft Word. So if you have just any sort of computer and you have Microsoft Word, you can go to the template section and you can find resume templates. So I think using a resume template would be the best idea, just because just trying to just make your own format and like doing your own spacing and all those things can kind of get a little bit difficult, and it might come out not the way that you want it to be. So I think using a template would be easiest. So that way you can literally just like pick whichever one you like the most, click on it, and then put in your information where it belongs. So this one looks a little different. This one looks cool. So the thing with resumes is that it's really up to you and like the type of resume that you pick. If you want like a more basic one, if you want one with color, if you want one with more like designs, it's really up to you and your preference. I think it's, it's nice to be creative sometimes, but you don't want to overdo it. That's the big thing. Like, you don't want to make it seem like you're trying too hard or doing too much. So, you would just go in here. That's my name. I would put in my email, my telephone number. For those of you, you probably either don't know what LinkedIn is, or maybe you know what it is, but you don't have one. I wouldn't, it's not a big pressing thing to have like right now. I would say once you start college, it would be nice to have a LinkedIn, because once you do start looking at internships and going to like job fairs and career fairs and stuff like that on campus, professionals, and employers are gonna probably want to link with you on LinkedIn to stay in contact that way. So if you don't have one already, you can make one, and we can talk about that at another time. Me or your college advisor. Your objective, you can put this here. You could say this, basically is saying like what it is that you're wanting to do. So if I was doing this as a student, so I am a public relations major looking for experience. I cannot spell these days in the public relations field. So I mean, something like simple, like that's what you're looking for. That's what what it is you're wanting to do. And then skills. These are going to be, things that you would want them to know about you. So, wow, detail oriented, social media management. Even though it sounds silly to like say that that's a skill, you would be surprised at how many people don't know how to like work Twitter or work Instagram, or like I don't know, people aren't on Facebook as often, or like TikTok, things like that. Like, you could definitely say that that's a skill. So like different things like that you can put down as skills. I wouldn't say putting down like Microsoft Word or like PowerPoint as a skill, because at this point in 2020, pretty much everybody knows how to use those things. And then up here, this could be your job experience. You put what school you go to. You put your GPA. I would say only include your GPA if it's a little bit higher. Not to shame anyone that may have a lower GPA, but you just may not want to broadcast that as loudly versus if you just had like a really high GPA, like a 4.0 or something like that. And then your volunteer experience and or leadership, so any sort of clubs, community service, sports, things like that, you can kind of put into like this section down here. So boom, you would just save it. Wow, we have a resume made on Microsoft Word. So other places to make resumes, there's Google Docs. So if you have a Gmail account, Google Docs also has resume templates. I think some of theirs are really cute too. So they have lots of different templates on here, but these first couple ones are resume templates. I like this one because it's pink. I guess that one over there was pink too, but whatever. So yeah, so you basically just pick a template that you like, put in the information that, you know, is kind of already here. And then of course you can format it any way you want to. You can change the color any way you want to, the font, whatever it is that you feel. The big thing is just having all the information on there that's the most like up to date and like necessary to be included. I'm not sure if you all have heard of Canva, but Canva is a free website that allows you to make pretty much anything. So you can make social media posts, you can do personal things. So like resume is right there. If you're doing presentations, maybe you're making a logo for something, flyers, infographics, brochures. I don't think any of you will be making like lesson plans, but if you want to, they're on here. Zoom backgrounds, mind maps, Father's Day cards, different things like that. So we're going to click on resumes to pull up some resume templates. So Canva, since it is more of like a graphic design type of website, there's way more creative types of templates on here. So like there's pictures, there's colors, this name is sideways, this has a big yellow spot, this is all squares. So it's really, with Canva, the thing is just to make sure you pick one that you don't feel is over the top and that you feel comfortable with. And they have like hundreds of different types of templates on here. So same thing, click on a template, that's the one you want to do. So let's say we're doing this one. You would say, I want to use this template. It'll open it up into the editing website or just editing page. And then you can go right in here, start changing some stuff around. So you can change the font, you can change the color of things. Go ahead, start making it your own thing here. And then they have all the other templates kind of on the side. So if you put this one originally, but then you see another one over here that you like, you can just click on it and then it'll change it. So let's say I want to do this one now. You can replace it. Boom, now it's replaced. And you can do as many as you want. You can just keep making multiple. That's what I did when I was starting to redo my resume. I picked like 10 different templates and just sat there and had to pick which one and like narrow down the one that I liked the most. So that's Word, Microsoft Word, Google Docs, Canva. So those are like 3 ways you can find some really nice resume templates for free and put in all your information and put them in there. Next, I wanted to show you our website. So on our majors and careers page, click this button. Okay, so on our majors and careers page on our website, if you scroll down to the bottom, we have some like a mock resume here for a high school student. So I would definitely say like, look at this. You can absolutely use this as a template. So you put your name, your email, phone number, what year you are in high school, your GPA. So if it's higher than 3.0, that's the recommendation. The year you graduate, that's important. And then any sort of things that you're doing. So you're in a club. I would also add here in sports, if you play any sports, and then volunteer experience, and then recognition. So for those of you that are Casey Scholar students, definitely put Casey Scholars on your resume. Like there were thousands of high school students that applied in the Kansas City area, and you were chosen out of those thousands of students. And I would say that that is definitely something to be recognized for and to let people know about, that you're part of this program. So definitely put Casey Scholars on there, and then whatever year that you were awarded that, and then any other types of things. And then here's some other skills. So Microsoft Office is on this one, but you know, I would think that most people would expect you to know Microsoft Office. So able to multitask, you're creative, a good communicator, organized, people person, team player, intermediate level Spanish speaker. I think that's also something to point out as well. So if you are bilingual, if you know multiple languages, it would be good to put that on your resume or just to let somebody know, because that really comes in handy depending on what type of work you want to do or where you're working. If someone comes in, and it doesn't have to be Spanish, it could be whatever language that you know that's other than English. So if someone were to come into your workplace and they're not very fluent in English and you know the language that they're more comfortable with, like their native language, like that is going to be a plus to put on your resume, because people will be more likely to hire you, especially if they know they have a more like diverse crowd that comes into their business. So keep that in mind. And then creating the ultimate resume. So these are just some great tips on like what a resume is for, stating your objective, describing your work experience, your education, your skills, and then always double check your grammar, and then your writing. So there's some resume words, and I'm sure yeah, so these are some different words for your resume. So a funny thing about resumes is that when you're saying you helped somebody, or you know, maybe you were part of like a group project, to use like really like good action words to describe what it was that you were doing. So instead of saying, oh, I helped customers, it's like, no, I assisted customers with their transactions through, I don't know, my cash register experience at Chick-fil-A. Whatever it is that you know that you did, try to take that simple task and kind of like spice it up a little bit, just to make it sound very professional when you're writing about it. Another thing I wanted to show you is that I had tons of different resumes that I've like made over time, and I've just kept them in my Google Drive. Honestly, just to like be organized, but then also it's funny to see progress. So this is my resume from 2015 from when I was in college, and this is a resume that I just made like 2 weeks ago for this year. So 5 years difference. It looks a lot cleaner. There's a lot more stuff. It looks really wordy, but like there's more stuff on this one because I had lots of jobs, and then this one I only have like a couple jobs. And then this is something that I recently learned about, was having a master resume. So this is where this is just a regular Word document where you just put in all your different experiences and like highlighting like the big things that you did at the jobs that you worked at, and then making sure like, okay, these are some skills that I have. I'm highlighting the ones that I think are the most important, my school information, and then like people that I would put down as like my references. So just like kind of keeping this all like in one spot. So I basically like would update this, and then I would copy and paste that into the resume template. So that way I'm not just sitting there with the template trying to figure out like, oh, what did I do at this job? And like, what are all the different tasks and stuff that I did? So I think it's a good way to just kind of keep yourself organized, to have a master resume type of draft document, and then have your actual templates and stuff separate. And then once you're ready to go and you feel like, you know, hey, this is it. This is the one I want to do. So this is the one I just made like a couple weeks ago. Still got to work on like spacing and like, so this is where you would just kind of keep improving and seeing what looks the best and what works the best for you. So that is what resumes are. That's what they're for. Those are a couple of different places you can find templates. Please, you know, feel free to reach out to your college advisor. If you already have a resume and you want to, you know, spice it up a little bit, you know, try a different template out. Try to make sure you're remembering all the different things that you've done, all your community service hours. If you were on honor roll, if you were on like the dean's list, or like whatever other types of like achievements, just making sure you keep those somewhere. Ask your mom, ask your dad. They remember everything, all the things that you do that are great, because they tell their friends about you and they tell the family about you. So if there's something you forgot that you did, always ask your parents, because they remember everything. So yeah, so reach out to your college advisor if you need help with like putting together your resume, anything like that. And yeah, enjoy the rest of your summer break, and feel free to subscribe.